Let's begin. Today is August 16th, 2024, and we're solving the Daily Turing Machine Puzzle. Today's puzzle uses the following 5 criteria cards. Criteria card 5, 9, 16, 19, and 21. And the puzzle uses the orange verification cards. The code above is your way to get more information on today's puzzle by searching the code on turingmachine.info. Let's go solve. So on the grid above, we've got our 5 criteria cards. On the top row, we've got criteria card A, criteria card B, and criteria card C. On the bottom row, we've got criteria card D and criteria card E. So criteria card A looks at our first digit, the triangle digit, and will let us know whether that digit is an even digit or an odd digit. Criteria card B will look at the 3-digit solution and will let us know how many of those 3 digits are 3. Are there no 3s? Is there a single 3? Perhaps 2? Maybe all 3 are 3. Criteria card C again looks at our 3-digit solution, but this time it'll let us know a little bit about the ratio of even to odds. So should there be more even than odds, or should there be less even than odds? Criteria card D will take a look at the first 2 digits, triangle and square, add them up, and compare the sum to the number 6. So should the sum be less than 6? Should the sum be equal to 6? Or should the sum be greater than 6? And finally, criteria card E will take a look again at our 3-digit solution and will let us know whether there is a pair of digits, as in the example 131, or perhaps there is no pair and it falls under 2 categories. One where all the digits are distinct, as in the example 134, or all the digits are the same, as in the example 222. And remember, the objective of today's puzzle is to find that one unique 3-digit code that abides by all of the 5 criteria cards. And we're going to start off with an initial proposal of 314. So the first thing I want to find out is a little bit more about our first digit. So let me go ahead and test criteria card A. Okay, so the Turing Machine does not approve of my choice. Notice that I did choose an odd 3. It does not approve of that. So basically it's telling me that the triangle digit is actually even. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes. The triangle is an even digit. Okay, and since it is even, that means I should be able to cross out all of the odds for a triangle. So crossing out 1, 3, and 5. Okay, next, I think I want to find out a little bit about the ratio of even to odds. So let's go ahead and test criteria card C. Okay, so the Turing Machine does not approve of my proposal. Notice that I do have 2 odds to a single even. It disagrees with that. So basically it's telling us that there are more even than odds. So let's go ahead and put that in our notes for section C, that there are more even than odds. And notice that we already have at least 1 even in triangle. So either the remaining 2, square and circle, are either both even, or at least 1 additional one is even. So let's go ahead. Next thing is let's test criteria card E. Okay, so in this case, notice that it does agree with my proposal. Notice that I do have all distinct digits. So that means that there is no pair. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes in section E, that the solution has no pairs. Okay, and since there are no pairs, that means that our 2 even digits are actually distinct, and that means that we have an odd in the mix as well. So let's go ahead and type that up here just as a reminder. So the solution is in some order. We don't know what the order is, but 2, 4, and an odd. Okay, so that really came in handy to know that they're all distinct. That means that the evens that we do have, since they are distinct, they're not going to be paired up. So that really informed us that there are 2 evens and an odd, and the evens aren't paired up, so it's going to be in some order and combination, including 2, 4, and an odd. Well, that does it for this turn. We've already completed our 3 Turing tests. We're now going into the phase where we'll be discussing how to construct a good second round proposal. So notice that we did not test criteria card B, informing us a little bit about the number of 3s. And at this point, it's sort of 50-50, I guess. It's either there is a 3 or there isn't. Because we have evens, we know that you can't have 2 3s, so it's either no 3s or a single 3. And then we also did not test criteria card D. That'll tell us a little bit about the sum of the first 2 digits. So one possibility is that the sum is 6, and it's going to be our 2 evens. However, I don't see anything that would inform us of which one would be first. There's nothing that tells us about the ordering of the evens. So I think it's fair to say that the second digit, the square digit, is actually going to be an odd digit. And that would then sort of lead us to be able to conclude what triangle should be, and then circle is going to be the other even. So we could have something like, let's see, if square were, say, 1, well, that really wouldn't be helpful, because then the sum of triangle and square would all be less than 6. And similarly, square I don't think could be 5, because then the sum of triangle and square would all be greater than 6. So it's got to be that square is going to be 3. So I think we can then probably solve this in just 1 question in round 2, and that is the sum less than or greater than? And that'll inform us which even value for triangle should it be, and then obviously circle would be the other one. So it's a 50-50. So let's go ahead and say 4, 3, 2. And so I am deducing that there is a 3. And so we'll see whether the sum of the first 2 digits is greater than or less than. So let's go ahead and test criteria card D. Okay, so we got, or at least we've confirmed that the sum of the first 2 digits is indeed greater than 6. So let's go ahead and type that up in the notes in section D, and that is that triangle plus square is greater than 6. And so let's actually take a look and see. Obviously we know square cannot be a 1, because again those sums would not be greater than 6. 2 would also disqualify it, because 2 and 4 is equal to 6. And so that would leave us with square being 3, 4, 5. But again, I am going to write this down as I'm going to deduce there is a single 3-digit, and I'm deducing that it's going to be in square. So And since the sum is greater than 6, that would mean that triangle is 4. So let me go ahead and cross out the 2. And so I'm going to cross out the 4 and the 5. And then, of course, that would leave us with the 2 for circle. So I believe the solution should be 4, 3, 2. Okay. All right, well, let's go verify. Okay, so let's type in the solution of 4, 3, 2. Fantastic. Okay, well, let's go see how we did versus the Turing machine. So we were able to complete the puzzle in just 4 questions, which is less than the number of criteria cards. That's almost an automatic win for sure. But let's verify. So we did do A, C, E in the first round, and then D in the second round. So let's go type that up. So A, C were both incorrect, E was correct, and then D was correct. And we deduced accurately, since we did get the solution, that there is a single 3. All right, wow. So we beat the Turing machine by 2 questions. So definitely being able to, the first round really informed us of the uniqueness of the 2 evens and the single odd. We talked through how it didn't make sense that the first 2 digits would add up to 6, because there wasn't anything in the criteria cards that would allow us to pick one versus the other. So that means it had to have been an odd digit for square, and talking through the possibility of square being 1 or 5 being 1, that there also would be no way to decide which one, because there are 2 options for both. And so that led us to deduce that that middle digit had to be the lone odd 3. And then it was just a 50-50 to see if the sum was less than or greater than 6. Okay, so a lot of great deductions occurred here, and that's how we were able to beat the Turing machine. Well, what do you think? Add your comments. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video, so that more people can find the channel, and of course hit subscribe so that you won't miss the next video. Well, until next time, have a great one.